like when you're doing the eyeshadow. I know this is all Greek now to when you're doing your eyeshadow.
My friend, I understand
uko sawa?
things.
Sawa. So when you're doing the eyeshadow
And welcome to the Sit Down, where we have conversations with creators from across this beautiful motherland of ours. My name is Mark Wamboya, a filmmaker and an all-round story lover. And today we are sitting down with Suki Kibunguri, who has done amazing makeup work for films such as Rafiki, for artists such as Sauti Sol, for dignitaries such as Melania Trump. And is here with us today. Sit down, it's going to be quite the conversation. Thank you so much, Suki, man. Thank you for joining us on this session of the Sit Down. And to start us off, is there a difference between what I call beauty makeup and film makeup? Is there a difference between those two in terms of, can any person who does makeup on the street be able to do makeup for film?
people who do makeup on the street. Have we just been called? We've been insulted on this show. Okay, so film is very different, and my approach with film makeup is I'm a minimalist, because the cinematographer and the lighting guys, and all those gels they put on the lights and everything, make how something looks in real life will probably look 3 or 4 times more on camera. So you have to be as minimalistic as possible on TV, even if you're doing color or if you're doing highlighting or all those things. They still have to be very minimal and very seamless. So someone who doesn't do film can get away with a few makeup mistakes. Someone who's doing film can never get away with any mistake. As long as a face is being seen on camera and like you're watching it on the screen, we'll have a close-up that will reveal everything. So you can hide anything on a wide, but on a close-up you can never hide anything. Even if it's an eyebrow that is just a strand that is not aligned with the others, it will be seen. So there can't be very heavily defined lines like when you're doing the eyeshadow. I know this is all Greek now to when you're doing the eyeshadow.
My friend, I understand things.
Sawa. So when you're doing the eyeshadow, and then the lipstick can't be so loud. So most of the things actually that we, believe it or not, like in film, when I'm putting on lipstick on an actor, I would probably just put it on one lip and then we blend with the other lip. So it's very minimal, but also very defined, like very precise. Yeah. So to answer your question, I think someone who's doing makeup on the street can do makeup on TV, but then there are just some basic concepts that they really just have to understand, and some of them are just understood by making mistakes. And
in this last 10 plus years that you've been doing this, when you look at your makeup toolbox, what have you ended up finding are the things that are must-have? Over time, I'm sure you refine, you come back, you change it, you look at it. But what are the things that end up sticking inside the toolbox to end up using them as your backup tools?
There's an angle brush that I've had for, I think, almost 7-8 years. Just one single brush that is very important. So an angle brush is really, really, really important for me. I would never miss to have some skincare product in my makeup kit, because I'm very, very big on good skincare. So I not only believe in just making sure the face looks nice, but I'll also make sure that the actor gets some moisturizer for the hands and the legs and any other area that is not covered with the clothes. Some skincare product must. And I always have some lip care. I always have a comb for some reason. There's always just that one person who always needs it. Yeah, and eye drops for the eyes. Yeah, you never know when someone will just come with like red eyes, or someone will get an allergy. So eye drops always. Yeah.
And whenever you're starting out on a film or a production, how do you go about it? What's that process like from a makeup?
Okay, so the first thing is just generally just going through the script. So you go through the script so that you don't look clueless. When you're meeting the director, you go through the script, because this is a funny thing. When you're reading the script, and we are, as I said earlier, like we are always the last people to be engaged on a movie. So we get the script, and then everyone knows what we are doing except you. So you have to go through it, and then just mark the areas that you see need special attention in terms of makeup. So we'll find like a black eye, or someone wakes up maybe looking like this, or someone has been hit, or someone was running. So even the sweat itself is some sort of makeup. So I highlight those areas, and I just write down notes of what I would do in my own opinion. Even before meeting the director, I write what I would do, and then I put in some suggestions also, just to make it look better. After that, then you get through the whole general read through with the actors, or read through maybe with the director and everyone else. They take you in on what you're doing and stuff like that. So if there are no changes in regards to makeup, or no special attention in regards to makeup, I engage now the art director, because now the whole look has to be seamless, from the car someone is using, to the clothes they are wearing, to the lipstick they'll be wearing on the lips, to the handbag they'll be carrying, to everything has to be seamless. If it's the color palette, so the director shares the color palette, and then you just talk it through, because also makeup is just under art. So we really have to work with the art director. And then after that, we get to now the more practical aspect of makeup, which is doing trials way before we even start shooting. Even if it's a very simple look, we must know that this actor called Jane, her look is this, her primary look is this. So I want to create it myself, and I want to create like 2 or 3 variations and see how they look on camera. So you create those, and you create a color palette also for the main actor or main actress, in terms of the lipsticks and the lip changes. Because if someone is, this character called Jane is a banker, she's mid-30s, she's based on her, like the character, how the character is being described on the script, you can get a few details of what lip color she would wear. So based on that lip color, you find variations of shades that will complement that lip color. Today she's not wearing a red lipstick, and then, or maybe a mild, maybe nude color, and then tomorrow she's wearing a black lipstick. It can't be everywhere, all over the place. So it has to be. So this is the primary guiding factor that I always remember is that I use makeup to tell stories. So I will tell this story in my own way with makeup. Even, like when you see the colors on the lips, on the face, and the mood, you can tell the time of day, you can tell, the mood of the scene, and based on the face and how it looks, how fresh, how dull, how not well made, how yeah.
Hi. You know exam results are out.
I get to be a doctor.
Yes. I can get a scholarship.
Yes.
Wasichana wa MCA unadhani mababa zao wanajua? Lakini kilicho nishangaza, kuna Wakenya ambao kidogo wanaishtumu serikali kwa sababu ya msimamo wao wa ndoa ya jinsia moja.
You're just a typical Kenyan girl.
So how did this come about first, man? Before we go into the details.
Rafiki was it's just been one of the most amazing shoots I've done so far. And the whole process of getting a makeup artist for this job, for me, it was amazing, man. Like, so we got calls to go and do a trial. So if you've watched Rafiki, there is a scene where Kenna bursts her lip. So she gets into a fight with another girl, and and we were just given a paragraph of the script of that scene, for that scene, and then we were told, create this cut, and create the cut 2 days after, like how it would look. So it was like a vetting process. So like we were called like a few makeup artists, everyone with their own timing, and we were told to create that, and I created that, and they did a camera test. I managed to get the job, thank God, and we started the process, the whole journey of trying of now shooting the film. So that's how I got into it. Yeah.
How did you approach it from a makeup artist perspective? What
So-
were coming into the film?
The process was trying to tell this story that has never been told before. I thought it would be amazing to Kenyanize it as much as possible, because this was an opportunity. It's like Nairobi Half Life. Yeah, and I know like so many people, talk. So many filmmakers talk about that movie, because really, it was the beginning of us watching something we can relate to and things that we see. So I thought of just making it as natural as possible, as authentic as possible, makeup wise. No complications, not trying to make it look foreign or adding anything. This is a story of a young girl living in Nairobi, in a place like high rise, and their journey, So the first thing with the main actress, because she's an actress and she's been doing it for a while, so we had to make Ziki look like a really, really younger, like 5 or 6, 7 years younger than her age. So I think we were working with something to do with like a 16 to 17-year-old, because they were just finishing school. So yeah, it has to be 16, 17-year-old. So that's why you see the pink braids, because I was doing makeup and hair. That's why you see the pink braids, the pink lipstick. You don't see any bold, loud colors. You just see a girl who's trying to experiment with makeup. And that was really, really important. Like, she's trying to express her beauty. She's just starting to express her beauty with her dress code, with her hair, with her makeup. And that was the simple information that I really had to understand for me to now be able to approach everything else. And now to create a good contrast between Ziki and between Kenna and Ziki, now Kenna had to have that tomboy look. So even her hairstyle and no makeup at all on the face. I actually applied a bit of foundation, but it was almost seamless. You would never even realize that she had foundation on. And then no lipstick for her until just only one scene where she dresses up to go on, was it a date? I think it was a date. And then we also had to redo her hair and get that whole like Miguel look. So I created that interesting look for her, and that was the only change in terms of her look. But her look was very strong and very tomboyish. So yeah. And then the others now complement the mother, the auntie, everyone now complements that whole simple idea. Now all the others complement that. It's like a merry-go-round. Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you keep that level of consistency across scene by scene? Because the character is changing and evolving. Their arc is moving. But the lines in between are not dramatic until you see the final change. How do you sort of keep that change happening in small details when it comes to their makeup?
First, I will honestly say is by having a great team. So I had a team of like five makeup artists. So when we had the crowd scenes, we had like an extra 2 makeup artists to make it 5, but I worked with another makeup artist called Vanessa, one-on-one, like every day for almost 30 days. So just having a good team and making sure that, you know, like how detailed you are, your makeup assistant has to be that detailed. So you have to tell her like, no, so this lipstick, it's in the evening, so you understand that maybe in the evening the lipstick can't be as warm as in the morning. It can't be as loud as in the morning. It wears off kidogo. So that consistency, even in the minimal, smallest details, has to be one because of just having a great team and never getting tired. You know, like just you know the simple things that you might see on the monitor, and then you're like, that will you itapita too, you know, that one will pass, you know. No, you just go and correct it. Yeah.
Amazing. And to sort of wrap this section up, what was the highlight during this film that you remember most? What is there a moment during the making of Rafiki that you thought?
During the making of Rafiki, I think the most memorable scene is that scene where we shot Ziki and Kenna in a junk car yard, you know, like it was a junk car, and then they had we had the rain machine. So that scene was very intense because it was like a date, and then it started raining, and then I think there was some guys who are coming from who are dragging them down the valley. It was so many things were happening at the same time. I think it's one of the most important scenes of the film because it created the movie also. Yeah.
For me, that marks the end of this conversation, and we are so grateful for you taking your time.
Awesome,
and
bro.
In case someone has a question or wants to slide in the DM, find out more, maybe they're also at a barbershop somewhere reading about you, where can they find you?
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram at Suki Makeup Africa, and then basically on my website also, like you can check out stuff there, www.sukimakeupafrica.co.ke, and yeah, you can shoot me an email there, then we just have a conversation also.
All right, man. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I appreciate it.
Cheers, bro. It was awesome. Thanks for having us, man.
Karibu.
Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.